Hello, good evening, and welcome to Turf Moor for a big game that really does have an effect at both ends of the Premier League table. West Ham United can move, winning 3 points to the top four with a victory at the Turf tonight. If they take, they can take maximum points. Whereas for Burnley, 3 points for them would take them to 39 points. A mammoth 10 points above Fulham, and practically safety with the Premier League next season with 12 games to go. 39 points, usually in the past, has always been enough for teams to stay in the Premier League. So tonight really is no exception. Joshua Lewington is on. Are you ready for this one, Josh? It's going to be a cracker tonight, I tell you. And of course, keep your comments clean, keep your comments keep your comments clean. We're here for a big game tonight, a terrific game. We pulled a few strings and we got this live commentary now live for you. Let me just run through the two teams. Burnley, of course, 36 points from their 34 games, and this is how they line up then, with Nick Pope in goal. It's the same team, in fact, that beat Wolves by 4-0, so they're going to play 4-4-2 with Nick Pope in goal, Matt Lowton, James Tarkowski, Ben Mee and Charlie Taylor across the back, and then it's Brownhill, Cork, Westwood and McNeil, Vidra and Wood up front. On the bench for the Clarets, Peacock Farrell, Johan Berg Gudmundsson, Ashley Barnes, Dale Stevens, Jay Rodriguez, Eric Peters, Norris, another goalkeeper, Phil Bardsley and Jimmy Dunn. For West Ham, they are playing a three at the back, 5 in midfield and 2 up top. So they're going to start with Fabianski in goal, back 3 of Diop, Dawson and Sojcek, who's been a revelation for the Hammers this season. And then it's Kufal, Lanzini, Fornals, Creswell. Benahama will play in the attacking midfielder role, sort of the number 10. In behind 2 strikers, Mikel Antonio, who's returning, along also with Aaron Creswell today, and Jesse Lingard, whose goals really have fired West Ham into this fantastic opportunity for them to try and get into the Champions League against all odds this season. Their substitutes, Darren Randolph, the goalkeeper, Balbuena, whose red card was rescinded because he got sent off at home to Chelsea last week, which was a bit of a travesty, to be honest with you. Alves, Jared Bowen, Fredericks, Johnson, Trott, Odubeko and Coventry are the substitutes. Referee today is Anthony Taylor from just up the road at Greater Manchester. The game kicks off, Josh, at 8:15, so hopefully we'll be off the air by about 10:20 this evening, British time. Players are just warming up down below me here at the turf. Also, we had Paul James texting afterwards, after we did our little roundup this last night, and he goes for a 1-1 draw. Anyway, it's going to be a tight, intense affair, at both ends of the spectrum. It's going to be absolutely important. The weather conditions, well, it's typical Burnley weather, isn't it? Absolute bucket loads of rain all afternoon in the town of Burnley. It really is. It's quite cold. It's quite chilly, and the weather really is. The weather really is giving. Will give it a very difficult. Will obviously make the surface that little bit more greasy on top, of course, but. The atmosphere, well, I was going to say the atmosphere would have been superb if we had fans here, but we haven't. We haven't got that, unfortunately. We haven't got that. And we're just waiting on the arrival of the two lineups. They were just warming up earlier on down below me. We're just having 1 or 2 technical glitches here, but we'll try and sort that out for you. But that's the two teams. We will bring you first half commentary live from Turf Moor. This really is going to be an absolute humdinger of a game, I'm no doubt about it. Burnley really rocking at the moment. They've won 2 of their last 5, albeit they've lost 3 in between. They were against relegation rivals, two of them against relegation rivals, I should say. 3-2 to Southampton, having been 2-0 up at St Mary's. Then in the last home game, they lost 2-1 to Newcastle United, having again been a goal up in that game. And then obviously they went to Wolves last week and they lost to Lancashire United 3-1, but they put up a brave fight in that game. In fairness, the Clarets, they really did superbly well. But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. But they went to Wolves with it all on the line. It looks as if it was going to be one of those scrappy games, but they just went to town on Wolves and beat them 4-0. There is the match ball, waiting for the referee Anthony Taylor to take off the podium there, right down below the tunnel. The tunnels are away. If you're not familiar with the confines of Turf Moor, folks, they actually have the cricket field stand away to my right hand side, and that's where they come out. Well, the Burnley players come out. West Ham will come out from in between, and there's a banner. We are Super Burnley. Legs, hearts and minds is a mantra of Sean Dyche, of course. The rain is pouring here at Turf Moor. The floodlights are on. It's a floodlit game. It's very grey skies overhead. Burnley 9 points above the top zone. Win will take them to 39, 12 points clear of Fulham, and surely there'll be no way in the world Burnley will get relegated from that position, you would think. So that is the situation at the moment. Let's just bring you up to date with the other game. There's been another match taking place. It's the Black Country Derby. You may have heard on Football Commentary Live, which actually their commentator, who's not too far away here at the press box here, Russ Vernon, is actually nearby. And I spoke to him just a moment or two ago. We were swapping notes and Christ knows other things. As we see the West Ham substitutions, or the substitutes, roll out onto the field here at Turf Moor. Jared Bowen just seen there. And this really does promise to be an exciting match here at the Turf. Of course, social distancing has to be of paramount importance at this stage. Still, with the loosening of the COVID-19 rules, nice to go back to the pub, albeit outdoors. Although it's not that sort of weather for outdoor pub going, I suppose. Wet and rainy and cold. We wait the arrival of the two teams. There's the match ball there. And earlier today, let me just check the earlier Premier League scoreline. And in fact, it ended a draw in that game. West Bromwich Albion 1, Wolves 1. Fabio Silva scoring just before the break. Diangana scoring after 62 minutes. So the points shared in the Black Country Derby. So West Brom no, look like they're going to be losing their Premier League status, even though mathematically they can still stay in the league. But it looks like we're going to see a first here for Sam Allardyce. He's until this season had never been relegated as a Premier League manager. Well, that is not going to happen today, I'm afraid. It looks as if that's not going to be the case now. West Brom look as if they're going down. But as far as Burnley, as far as West Ham are concerned, they're in a rare position, usually fighting relegation at this stage of the season. Not so today. They're fighting to get into the top four and Champions League football, which would be an amazing achievement for them, all things considered, here at the Turf, if they can beat Burnley here. Burnley, they know a win here as Anthony Taylor, the referee, comes out of the tunnel. They know 3 points here take them to 39, a whopping 12 points above Fulham in the Premier League table. They'll go above Brighton, of course, I think on goal difference. And we saw Brighton win 2-0. Right, let's have a look at the teams. They're both out onto the field. So let's check them. Burnley with Mick Pope in goals. A back four of Lowton, Tarkowski, me and Taylor. And then a midfield four of Josh Brownhill will play on the right-hand side despite Gudmundsson still being fully fit. Jack Cork, Ashley Westwood and Dwight McNeil. And up front, that gruesome twosome up front that's been causing so many problems. Mattia Vidra and Chris Wood. Chris Wood scoring a hat-trick against Wolves last time out. And, of course, Sean Dyche not ringing the changes, keeping the same 11. 2 changes for West Ham as we go through their lineup with Fabianski in goal, Diop, Dawson and Soychek, the 3 centre-backs. And then a midfield 5 of Kufal, Lanzini, Fornals and Creswell. Benrahma will play, we believe, in behind, although Kufal could actually play across the back, although they've got it as 4-1-4-1. As the BBC have it down as 3 at the back. But definitely Antonio and Lingard are certainly the 2 men up front. On the bench with the Clarets, Peacock, Farrell, Gudmundsson, Barnes, Stevens, Rodriguez, Peters, Norris, the other goalkeeper, Bardsley and Jimmy Dunn. For West Ham, Randolph, their goalkeeper, Balbuena, who's back in the side after having his red card rightfully rescinded. Alves, Bowen, Fredericks, Johnson, Trott, Odebeko and Coventry. The referee is Anthony Taylor from not too far away in Greater Manchester, assisted by Gary Bezic and Adam Nunn. John Moss is the 4th official, and VAR down at Stockley Park is Stuart Atwell. West Ham will get us underway, and before the start of the action they will take the obligatory knee in the ongoing fight against racism in football and in sport in general. And we've had again, and we're just waiting now to start. Referee just making sure that everything is okay and good to go. Josh reckons it's going to be a 1-1 draw here. Just having 1 or 2 hitches again with the old technical whizzes again. Unfortunately, our whiz kids again are not performing as well as they would have liked. So we're going to the game will be underway shortly, so hopefully we'll be ready in time to go in the game. So we're all set to go then for a big game. They take the knee and West Ham get us underway. Big game this really in terms of both sides. West Ham of course needing the points themselves to challenge Chelsea still for that 4th spot, which would get them into the UEFA Champions League next season. And of course they're just about to kick off actually. So they'll take the obligatory knee of course. And there's an anti-racism campaign just being played out here. So we'll be getting underway in a second. If you are ahead in the stream or you're watching at home, don't shout out the score lines. Yes, I have mentioned you on more than one occasion, Josh. I don't have to say hi every time. Please don't do that. We're having 1 or 2 errors again. And we really are struggling here with the old technical itches at the moment. We're going to try and go elsewhere. And just want a decent commentary stream here at Turf Moor. 0-0 is the scoreline at the moment. We're all set almost to go. And as soon as we've got the moving pictures, we'll be able to bring you commentary. We're just having, again, technical problems. I wish our tech men would just be a little bit more. It always happens when I'm the commentator. It never happens to anybody else. Never happens to anyone else. Only me. I think they've got some sort of agenda against me. So anyway, we're back, hopefully underway. 0-0 is the score. And we played just shy of 2 minutes. Burnley attacking the cricket field end away to my right in all the claret. And there we go. So still 0-0 as we join you. Keep commenting, but let's try and comment about the game, not about anything else. As Burnley come charging forward, ball in there by McNeil, headed away there by Diop, and Kufal. Looks as if they're going to play 4 at the back, West Ham. Looks like it's 4 at the back for them. So it looks as if it could be 4-5-1 or 4-4-2 again. They're going to try and match up here. 3.5 minutes gone. Cresswell has it on the near side for West Ham. Now Diop has it. West Ham in the dark shirts. Last time they played here at Turf Moor, Burnley won 3-0. Now, day to forget for West Ham United, who were poor on that day. Remember, a Burnley win will take them to 39 points and definite, you would think, safety. Kufal knocks it out for a throw-in just inside the West Ham half for Burnley. Clarets 4 minutes in, still 0-0. That's Zojcek gets ready to face Chris Wood and Matty Vidra, who really have formed a very good understanding in recent weeks. Goals have been flying in. Certainly 3 last week for Chris Wood, 1 for Ashley Westwood as well, which was a superb 4th goal. And I'm sure if anybody saw it at home on Match of the Day last week, they were super. It was a superb Burnley performance, and if they could just follow that up with a first win in 7 at Turf Moor, then that should do it for the Clarets for this season. They've got some tricky old games to come against Leeds being one, Liverpool coming up. Also, they've got Fulham away, as Sheffield United away on the final day of the season. So, and they want the job done long before Fulham and Sheffield United. Here's Lowton now, midway inside the West Ham half, plays the ball in. Header only half away. 5 minutes gone here, but Burnley 0, West Ham 0. Premier League commentary live from Turf Moor. We brought you Brighton 2, Leeds 0 on Saturday, and at short notice we are bringing you this game from Turf Moor. Burnley against West Ham. Earlier, Wolves and West Brom drew 1-1 at the Hawthorns in the Black Country Derby, and really it was a disappointing result for West Bromwich Albion, who really needed to win to keep their faint hopes of Premier League survival alive. Here's Antonio, who gets into a shooting position about 25 yards out, but hits it well wide of Nick Pope's goal, and a goal kick it is for Burnley. He has got good history against Burnley. In fact, he scored the only goal of the match on back in January when the teams met at the London Stadium, and really what was a domineering performance from West Ham. It was a very, very poor Burnley performance. They just never got out of first gear, and it was just an abject, one of the most abject Burnley displays I think I've seen all season, and I've seen quite a number of abject away displays. Certainly Manchester City is a given. Burnley usually lose 5-0 every day. Anyway, there was a foul there, but referee Taylor played in advantage. Sure, he's got to pull it back. There's a foul there with Vidra. In fact, it's a throw into Burnley. Vidra just feeling it a little bit there. And here comes the throw. It was a wasted one really from the Clarets. Here's Tarkowski now on halfway. Plays it to Lowton. In turn gets it back to Nick Pope. Pope kicks away. Didn't really have to make a meaningful save at Wolves last week when they won 4-0. Vidra's actually feeling the back there. Now let's hope that's not serious. Burnley starting to get players back from injury. And there we go. Yes, you're still there. Let's just keep the comments about the game. If you are on for the first time, yes, say hi. Please keep your comments, of course, clean, and let's try and keep it relevant about the football if we can, folks. Here's Westwood to win the header over on the far side. Here's Vidra. Vidra turns Kufal rather. Here's McNeil running at the defenders. He's got 2 West Ham players for company. Goal kick to Burnley. Goal kick rather to West Ham. Must have come off McNeil last, and a goal kick it is to the Hammers. Just past the 7.5 minute mark here at the turf. Burnley 0, West Ham 0 in the Premier League. Win for Burnley tonight would take them to 39 points. And if Chris Wood actually scores tonight, incidentally, folks, here's a little statistic for you, courtesy of our statistician Barry Swain of Football Commentary Live, and of course Russ. This was a stat I picked off of Russ Vernon, so Russ, thank you for that stat. If Wood scores tonight, it will be goal number 150 of his career. He's played for Leeds and Leicester as well in his career previously, and so it will be his 150th goal of his career should he score tonight, and he scored 6 goals in previous meetings against the Hammers. Meanwhile though, Benrahma has got the possession here for West Ham, deep inside the Burnley half. Aaron Creswell has it on the left, crosses into the penalty area. Header was won inside the penalty area by Sojcek, and in fact it looped very much into the arms of Nick Pope. Vidra looks as if he's okay because he's got possession of the ball, tries to feed Wood. Diop is close at hand to him though, has to play it back. Here's Dwight McNeil. McNeil will run at his men. McNeil now uses Charlie Taylor. Taylor gets the cross in. Brownhill waits at the far post, and Fabianski having to fist that one away, and he got it away to safety. Found Benrahma with that fist away. But McNeil put in a very good sort of tantalising cross there, and really made the goalkeeper think there. But it's a wet, sippy surface that should make some good slick passing here at Turf Moor tonight. Burnley 0, West Ham 0, coming up towards the 10-minute mark of the first half. Live on JB Sports. And here's Matt Lowton now for the Clarets. Remember, a win will virtually more or less secure Premier League football for a 5th consecutive year. And that is what we want to see tonight. And the West Ham fans would want to see 3 points themselves, so they can keep up their challenge for a Champions League spot, which you wouldn't have got good odds on at the start of the season, considering the last 2 or 3 seasons the way it's gone. But David Moyes has really galvanised him. But he hasn't had a good time as a visiting manager in the Premier League. Has lost twice before, once with West Ham and the other being with Everton back in August 2009. Lost 1-0, of course. Wade Elliott scoring the goal when he was Everton manager, of course. Here's Dwight McNeil on the far side for Burnley. Back to Charlie Taylor. Taylor now to Cork. Cork touches it back to Ben Mee, who's the skipper. And here is Matt Lowton. Lowton takes on Benrahma, gets the ball in towards Vidra, who just can't control there. May have just slipped there as he tried to control it, and now Antonio's away. He's a very pacey sort of player, Mikel Antonio. Tarkowski's right with him, and the ball played in there, and Burnley really getting themselves into a little bit of a muddle defensively, and this is not good. Lanzini tries the shot, and it just clears Nick Pope's crossbar, but it would have been of Burnley's own making if Lanzini had scored there. That really was a real struggle there. For Burnley at the moment, they got themselves at 6s and 7s at the back. Taylor hitting it against Tarkowski. I don't know what his geography was there. Then Lanzini came up. Burnley was slow to close him down, and in the end the effort just went over the top of the crossbar, so it remains 0-0. But Burnley are just getting themselves into a defensive muddle there. Remember, winless in 7, drawn, admittedly though, they've drawn 5 of the games and only lost 2. So if you want to put a positive spin on it, they've only lost 2 of their last sort of half dozen games. But really, no winning 7 at home is not good enough for a team of Burnley who do rely on their home form. But practically, I think if they do stay up, it'll be those unlikely wins at the Emirates, Goodison and Anfield that will probably keep them in the Premier League. And the ball is now with Fornals over on the far side. The ball played in there. Antonio lurking. The goalkeeper didn't get there, but in the end it fell very kindly to Josh Brownhill, who got it away. Now Vidra battling for it on halfway. Does well. Holds it up, but he can't find Wood. Vidra battles again, but Diop wins the ball and finds Lanzini on halfway. West Ham starting to have a bit of the play. Jesse Lingard has possession. Here he is now on the ball. Lingard, who's joined on loan from Manchester United. He was out of favour at Old Trafford. Surplus to requirements from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And has linked up with his old Manchester United manager, David Moyes. Here's Creswell. Creswell goes back. Now Benrahma. Benrahma gets it out to Souček, who has scored 1 or 2 handy goals for West Ham in their quest to try and get in the Champions League, and the cross low from Kufal nearly causing 1 or 2 problems in a Burnley defence. And Taylor lets that go with Lingard close at hand, and Burnley survive for the moment anyway with a goal kick. 13 minutes gone here, live on JB Sports. Burnley 0, West Ham 0. And, well, Sean Dyche's side just on the back foot slightly now. Calling for more there. There's Billy Mercer, the goalkeeping coach. And what a job he's done. He's been at the club now over a decade. Came as part of Brian Law's staff back in 2010. So he's been at the club 11 years. And look at the amount of quality goalkeepers he's produced. Tom Heaton being one, Nick Pope another. He's also coached the likes of Joe Hart and Paul Robinson in his time here at Turf Moor. Brian Jensen was the first, and Lee Grant was the second. So he has coached a lot of decently superb goalkeepers in his time at the club. And here's Diop now on the ball for West Ham. Gets the ball high and long and forward, and Lowton can get the ball back to Nick Pope, and Pope controls it, kicks the ball away down the field, and the headers are being won brilliantly now in the midfield area, and Cork has it, finds Charlie Taylor. Taylor has possession. 0-0 is the score here at the Turf. If you've just joined us on JB Sports, Burnley with a win would virtually take them to safety here this evening. We haven't got the on-screen scoreboard like we did on Saturday, but a quarter of an hour gone, still goalless, but certainly West Ham have slightly shaded it with the better chances. Creswell has it now on the left for West Ham, still inside his own half in the darker strip. Burnley, of course, need to tell you in claret and blue. And here's Fabianski, the former Arsenal and Swansea goalkeeper. I think he played on this ground. First played on this ground back in 2009 as an Arsenal goalkeeper in a League Cup match against Burnley, which Burnley won 2-0. A couple of goals that night from Kevin MacDonald. Here's Chris Wood trying to look for that one goal, 150 in his career, but he couldn't be found. And here come West Ham now on the break with Aaron Creswell. Antonio's right on the overlap now, hugging that touchline. Souček now has found Lanzini, and now here's Craig Dawson, the former West Brom man. Dawson again, just checking, looking to play the ball over the top if he can, but he's hit it far too far. It goes into the penalty area of Burnley, and Nick Pope, again, not really under particularly any pressure at all, taking the ball very cleanly. And then the ball knocked back to Pope, and Pope again. Still waiting on confirmation whether Manchester United and Liverpool can play in the next week or so. Their game got cancelled, as you know, yesterday. It's a chance though for victory for Wood Robbie if he can stay outside. Wood now closing in. Still Chris Wood. I think he's trying to do too much. Fitra shoots, and it's a great save, and a penalty given. A penalty given for Burnley. And Burnley have a chance from the penalty spot. I think Wood was the man who was tripped inside the area. Let's see it again. It was one ball over the top from Westwood. Diop completely misread the signs. And then Diop got himself in all sorts of a tangle here. And, Souček was very late, I have to say. Got none of the ball, got plenty of wood. Definite penalty to Burnley. I don't think there's much doubt about that. I'll be amazed if VAR overturned this. Anthony Taylor, I think, made the correct decision. And Chris Wood, I believe, is going to try and take this penalty. And he is now. What an opportunity for Wood. If he gets this, it's goal number 150 in his career. And in a crucial game like this, what a time it could be if he could get it. Right-footed against Fabianski from 12 yards. Referee making sure that nobody's encroaching here. Big moment in Burnley season this. Can Chris Wood get the opening goal here? 18 gone, 0-0, but Burnley have a penalty and Chris Wood is going to take it from 12 yards. He runs up to the ball, hits it right-footed and scores into the left-hand corner. It's goal number 150 in his career for Chris Wood. But more important than that, Burnley lead at Turf Moor 1-0. And it's a beautiful penalty with the right foot. I think Fabianski may have got the slightest glove on that, but no more than that. And Burnley have got themselves the lead. No doubt at all the penalty was the correct decision because Sojacek, let's be fair, got nothing of the ball. Bit of Chris Wood, that's enough. Definite penalty after Vidra's effort was actually saved. And that's goal number 150 in his career for Chris Wood. And what a moment for him. Just what Burnley needed. 19 gone. Burnley 1, West Ham 0. Chris Wood and now Vidra now from the restart. He's running at the West Ham defenders. He might have to do it alone, but he's got support now with Dwight McNeil on the left. Burnley now with their tails up. And that's Wood's. I'm just trying to figure that out. It's Wood's fourth in 2 games. He has really hit the form just when Burnley needed it. Hat-trick last week, a penalty this week. And Burnley now coming into form, you think, just at the right time. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, folks. Burnley led against West Ham in the last against Newcastle in the last home game. But then a double change from Steve Bruce completely changed the complexion of the game. David Moyes has got plenty of match winners on the bench. Here's Creswell into the area. Oh, and it nearly fell for Antonio inside the 6-yard area. And Fornals was in there too. And West Ham could have easily been level. They still might be because Lingard has it. Finds Lanzini deep inside Burnley territory. Harry Creswell now on the left. Has to cut back. Lanzini now plays it in. Here's Jesse Lingard, the man in form for the Hammers. Maybe could bring himself into the England reckoning for the European Championships. Lingard, edge of the area, and a chance now for Fornals rather. He strikes the shot and it comes off the defender. Danger moments here for Burnley, but then Dwight McNeil loses possession, having clearly got it away, and now Fornals. And there's men over here for West Ham. Burnley have got plenty of numbers back. The ball played in, and Antonio has equalised. Oh, dearie me. Burnley, what were they doing? Dwight McNeil has to take responsibility for that. The first rule in the book, you put your foot through it, and McNeil failed to heed that. He did the hard part by getting away, and then all he had to do was boot it down the field, but he let Fornals in. The ball was knocked back. And really, this is poor defending from both Tarkowski and Lowton as well. And you've got to say, hats off to West Ham because they fought back very well to go in a goal behind. And this was always the worry. And now Burnley have got it all to do. They've been pegged back within 2 minutes of taking the lead. And Mikel Antonio, who's got a good record against the Clarets, has scored yet again against them. 1-1. And that's 2-2 in fact for him. He scored in the earlier league game which they won 1-0, but Burnley there have only themselves to blame. No chance by the way for Nick Pope. Little or nothing he could have done about that. It was a good header from Antonio. You've got to give him his fair dues. Anyway, here come Burnley now. McNeil, boy, has he got some turning to do. Gets a cross in and it's away by Dawson inside the area. Now can Burnley hit back strongly now? That's a real body blow for the Clarets. Having done the hard work to get in front, they've just basically chucked it away. Here's Creswell now for West Ham. Their tails are well and truly up now. And Creswell plays the ball in, but that's better defending. Now Westwood has it for the Clarets. 1-1 is the score. 2 goals in 3 minutes. Wood with the first one. His 150th in his career. But then Burnley hitting back. Oh, West Ham rather hitting back. Breaks to thanks to some defensive frailties started by Dwight McNeil when he should have kicked the ball away. But there we go, 1-1, halfway through the first half. A terrific match here. Mike's on, listening to both myself and Russ's commentary. Thank you very much. Nice to know you're listening to both of us. We're not sat too far away from each other in the comm boxes. Russ is, of course, for another... Russ is one of our commentators. He's here with another channel tonight. But we were swapping notes before the game. Anyway, here's West Ham. Nice. I'm very well, Mike. Hope you're doing well as well. Right, anyway, Jesse Lingard has possession here, left-hand side. Taking on Lowton. West Ham with their tails up. Plays an awful ball into the penalty area by his high standards. Very easy for Nick Pope, but Burnley now just backing off again. They're going back to their old habits again. They were superb defensively last week. Didn't give Wolves any room at all. But at the moment, it's highly disappointing, really, from a Claret's point of view, having worked so hard to get into the lead through the penalty, which was quite right. We did well. We shared a drink. I'm not sure about a beer, but non-alcoholic, of course. But there we are. We all have our moments. As Tarkowski clears forward and Bidger's making it down that far touchline, but Dawson was close at hand to him there, and he gets the ball away, and Taylor knocks it forward. Wood with a header, and Dwight McNeil will have to be culpable for the goal for me, although Tarkowski and Lowton should take some responsibility there. Really poor defending. Here's Josh Brownhill. How they could do it with a goal from him right now. That's a lot of Lowton on that right hand side, and he can't keep it in. It's a West Ham throw in. Lowton reluctant to throw the ball back here. I think it's a bit early for time wasting, to be quite honest with you. 25 minutes only gone. I think Sean Dyche would be encouraging time wasting with the score at 1-1 with just 25 minutes gone. I don't think it would be in Dyche's remit. Here's Jack Court. Took that beautifully on the chest. It's got McNeil there. They're just bunching up a little bit, Burnley, which is making it hard for them to attack. Taylor's attempted cross was charged down, but they're just getting too close, bunched up to each other, which is making it very difficult for Burnley to put some attacks together. They just need to be a little less narrow and just try and play between the lines if they can. Matty Vydra, though, has been a live wire in this first 25 minutes, certainly in an attacking sense for Burnley. He's made a lot happen. Chris Wood has certainly caused a problem or two and has scored the penalty goal after he was fouled. Diop should clear that and does. Finds Cresswell now, and really it's a real sucker blow for Burnley. They work so hard to get in the league, but it's the defensive frailties that have cost them a lot of points this season. Remember those 3 games they lost? They just silly defensive errors that have cost them goals, especially against Southampton and Newcastle in recent games. It's been difficult. Remember, they haven't won in 7 at Turf Moor. Should have beaten Newcastle really last time out, but absolutely messed that one up. And now, having led, they are being pegged back here. And you've got to say, credit to David Moyes' side. They've absolutely sprung out the traps after going behind, and now have really got themselves back into it. And of course, this is the final Premier League game that's taking place. Well, I should say the final Premier League game. All the other 9 fixtures are going to be fulfilled, apart from the one at Old Trafford yesterday between Manchester United and Liverpool. That got cancelled after the Man United fans had stormed into Old Trafford in protest against Malcolm Glazier and Joe Glazier, and it's all down to the Super League. Meanwhile, Burnley win a corner in the Premier League. One can understand that, but to run into the ground and then get the game called off as big as Man United and Liverpool was ridiculous. Although I do side with the fans on that thing. We want to keep our English heritage alive and the pyramid system going for as long as we can. Meanwhile, whilst I was talking about that, Burnley have forced the first corner of the match. And we've waited just over 27 and a three-quarter minutes for this. And odds on Ashley Westwood will take it. Takes them from the left-hand side. You can be sure of that. In it goes towards the area. And the ball knocked back once more, but Burnley dealing with that one okay. Oh, West Ham rather dealing with that one okay. And here's Jesse Lingard on the near side, going well over halfway. Feeds Aaron Cresswell here. Cresswell cuts back now. Lingard. This is going to be one of those nights where Burnley are not going to make it easy for everybody. And here comes the shot coming in there from Benahama, but it's deflected back again. And this time, Lingard gets possession. Burnley 1, West Ham 1. A real edginess and tenseness to this game here, even though we haven't got any supporters. Ball played into the area, and it's another goal for Antonio, and Burnley have gone to sleep again. It was a wonderful cross from Benahama, but where were the markers, and where was the man marking Antonio? It was disgraceful defending from Burnley. West Ham in front, and you've got to say in the last 10 minutes they deserve to be in front. What were they doing here? Antonio ghosted in, almost like Martin Peters back in the day. And what was Tarkowski and me playing at? Absolute basic defending, and they went to sleep, all of them. Poor defending. West Ham prop it, and deservedly so. And it's West Ham who lead by 2-1. A superb finish into the right-hand corner. 29 minutes gone. And Burnley, well, I said a moment ago, they don't make it easy for themselves. They're certainly not doing that. They're certainly doing that tonight, I'm afraid. 10 minutes ago, it looked all promising for the Clarets, leading by a goal to nil. They've done exactly what they've done against Newcastle. Just squandered the lead, stupidly. Now they trail 2-1. Brownhill. And when the ball played in there, but only Vidra was in the box. It was a poor ball. Burnley need to get their fingers out, because this is not good enough. This is a game they have to win. And Sean Dyche needs to get some heads rolling at half-time, because if they don't get back in this game, or they don't get level at half-time, he needs to throw a few teacups around in that dressing room. Because quite frankly, the defence, the back four, have been an absolute shambles in this last 10 minutes. They really have. Credit to West Ham, they deserve to be in front. But the back four of Burnley has been an absolute shambles. Burnley, who have traditionally been so good in taking the lead and then keeping the lead. Well, I don't know what's going on in the last few games. I mean, obviously the Wolves game was a sort of an exception, because Burnley were good and Wolves were poor, but it's West Ham who are making Burnley look the country cousins at the moment as the ball goes in towards Soychek from the right-hand side. This is absolutely abysmal from Burnley right now. Their defending is absolutely atrocious. I've never seen them so generous. This is a back four that doesn't concede many goals, or traditionally doesn't concede many goals, but in the last few games they've been absolutely appalling. They've conceded in the last 5 games alone, the last 4 games alone, they conceded 3 against Southampton, having been 2-0 up. They conceded another 2 here against Newcastle, conceded another 3 at Old Trafford, and now they've conceded another 2, and here's a chance for number 3 for West Ham, and he only was! And Antonio was an inch away! And that would have been curtains for Burnley after 32 minutes. Burnley are all over the place! It's shocking! Absolutely shocking! Oh my goodness. Burnley really need to get a grip, because they're not good enough at the moment. This is a game they have to try and take points from. At the moment, they are not doing so. Antonio should have had a hat-trick by now, and that's no exaggeration of the truth. It hasn't been good enough. Benahama's having a terrific game, by the way. West Ham certainly bossing it in the possession front, 58-42. Burnley do have the better record head-to-head in league football over the years, Football League and Premier League. 85, previous 85 games. Burnley have won 35 of them. West Ham 32. 18 of them being draws. Fabianski under pressure from Wood, and Wood half charged it down, but fell very kindly to Kufau, who gets West Ham motoring again. And oh my goodness, Burnley are so slack at the moment, and Ben Harmer's got through, and he almost found Lingard, and it falls very kindly for Pope. But yet Burnley are being pulled apart, and it's this man here, Ben Harmer, who's having a magnificent match. He just takes on Lowton and just beats him as if he was just a ski gate, basically. It's just awful to watch defensively from the Clarets. It's hard to comprehend right now. We're into the last sort of 12 minutes plus stoppage time of the first half, and Antonio's in again. But out comes the goalkeeper. Oh my word. He's having so much joy here. It's almost as if the roles have reversed. Burnley were having so much joy down their left-hand side last week at Wolves. It's the reverse today. But here's Vidra inside the area. Vidra now. Vidra a check for 2-2. He's chipped it over the keeper off the line by Dawson. And that should have been the equaliser, but Vidra just didn't get enough purpose on the chip over the goalkeeper. And Craig Dawson got back in the nick of time for West Ham and got it away. Burnley nearly getting an equaliser. They might get one now, but Wood can't get there. Diop wins the ball and nods it back to Fabianski. Oh, you can't take your eyes off this first half for a second. One ball over the top. Diop are getting all sorts of knots. And Dawson getting back there. I think Fabianski might have got a glove on that as well. We'd have to see from a closer angle than the one we just saw there on the monitor. Well, Burnley really have been feeble for sort of the last quarter of an hour, almost getting themselves back into the game. But now it's Ben Harmer again. He's gone over to the right-hand side now. Can Taylor now show him a clean pair of heels? The ball played back, and the ball laid in there. That's better goalkeeping. Nick Pope, who didn't have a chance on the 2 goals. He can't be blamed for the 2 goals that have gone past him. We certainly can look at the back four of Burnley, and Dwight McNeil certainly on the first West Ham goal, and ask a lot of questions. Why? Why did they go to sleep? Why did they not do the right things? It has been an abysmal defensive display for the last 15 minutes from the Clarets. Not good enough by half. Free kick West Ham. Meanwhile, Ben Harmer's getting a little bit of treatment now. And that shouldn't be allowed. They shouldn't be allowed to take on bananas and things like that. That's not fair. That's an advantage. But, one thing's for sure, Burnley cannot have another goal go against them. Because if another goal goes in, I think that's it. We can kiss goodbye to 3 points and Premier League survival for at least a week. But West Ham have been the better team. 9 attempts to Burnley's 2. 1 on target for Burnley, 3 for West Ham. They've scored 2 goals from it. 75% ratio, 50% ratio for Burnley, with their 100% ratio. But anyway, free kick to West Ham, floated into the penalty area, and again, not good defending. Dawson will pick up the loose ball. Taylor's with him. It comes off Taylor for a West Ham throw, which is a little bit disappointing from Burnley at the moment. 2-1 down, trailing, and really need to up their game now for the remainder of this match. I think hard time can't come soon enough for the Clarets, quite honestly. Took the lead on 19 minutes with Chris Wood. 21 minutes the equaliser. 29 minutes the second Antonio goal. It has been a horrible 17 minutes for the Clarets. Away by Ben Mee. Wood to win the next ball. Burnley pinned back in their own half. Everybody back in their own half. This is not positive football from the Clarets at home as well. This is awful to watch. And West Ham having the freedom of Turf Moor. Another cross comes in, this time from the right. Tarkowski away. And West Ham get another throw. This is not good enough from Burnley. They're not positive enough. They've gone into the show having taken the lead, and they've paid the price. And here come West Ham again. It could be 3, and it nearly was. Here's Lingard, left-hand side. Jesse Lingard. And here's Benrahma again. He's having such an influence for West Ham at the moment. And here he goes, past Lowton and Brownhill. It was such abysmal defending, and it's still not away yet. Finals for West Ham. Surely this can't keep happening. And Pope very decisive in taking the ball from the right-hand side. Tarkowski takes a little knock, but Burnley again showing no answer to this. They need to get their fingers out. This has been appalling in the extreme. 38 gone, Burnley 1, West Ham 2. Shocking 18 minutes of defending from the Clarets, who have just really, since the goal, have completely switched off and have committed 2 pieces of defensive madness, which has cost them 2 goals and the lead that they worked so hard to get now has been evaporated, and now they're 2-1 down. They need a big sort of 7 minutes now plus stoppage time before half time. If they can get an equaliser then it's game on. Offside given predictably there against Chris Wood. And the half that promised so much for the Clarets when Wood scored the penalty. Well, it's turning into a nightmare now. And we'll have the JB man of the match as well in the second half for you as well. Possession, well, West Ham have upped it 62% to Burnley's 38%. It's not been good enough really in the last sort of 20 minutes or so from the Clarets. It really hasn't. Took the lead 20 minutes ago, and then since then they've conceded 2 goals. Could have easily conceded another 2. And then Vidra had 1 kicked off the line. But really, Burnley never play well in first half of games. It's very rare yet you see them play well. Remember though, they were in sort of dire straits against Aston Villa back in January in a game we covered here on JB Sports. And Burnley won that one 3-2, and they were behind in that one too. So let's not try and worry too unduly about it. Maybe Burnley, if they can just stay at 1 goal down, or better still get an equaliser. Here's Taylor now down the left. Here's a chance for the Clarets. Can they get one in there? Oh, it's just too high for Vidra. But Westwood gets possession here. Pulls the ball back. Cork now to hook the ball forward. Can he find Lowton? He can't. The ball runs out, and Lowton, in frustration, because he's had a feeble first half really, kicks the ball into the cricket field stand. And to be fair, the back 4 of Burnley have had a complete brain freeze. They've conceded some horrible goals. This was the penalty that Burnley got. No chance of that being overturned in West Ham's favour. Sojcek certainly went through Wood there. Wood making no mistake from the penalty. That was his 150th goal in his career. Burnley are doing their bit at the other end in terms in the attacking 3. The goals are flying in, but unfortunately for Wood and for Vidra, working so hard in the attack, in the attacking sense, the de facto 4 are really letting them down just when it needed most. Burnley, with a win tonight, would go to 39 points. At the moment, they're staying right where they are on 36. This is good news for Newcastle and for Fulham, by the way. Scott Parker's men really are buoyed by that. Their London neighbours really doing them a slight favour here tonight. Still going to need 3 wins from 4 for Fulham. If Burnley don't get any points here, they need to get points. They've got the Leeds and Liverpool here coming up. Then they've got an away game at Fulham and Sheffield United away on the last day of the season, and they don't really want to be going to Bramall Lane or to the Craven Cottage for that matter, with Premier League status still on the line. They want the job done before then. Here's Dawson now for West Ham. Oh, he hits it straight against Chris Wood. Then Dawson clears, and it's been kept in there by Kufau, who gets the ball away. Still Burnley trying to lay siege now. We're inside the last 3 minutes plus stoppage time at the end of the first half. West Ham leading by 2-1, having trailed to a penalty goal from Chris Ward, but they came back 2 goals from Antonio, and beautifully taken goals as well. But you've got to put it down to some awful defending from the Burnley ranks that has really cost them dear. Anyway, here's Westwood now for the Clarets. Here's Dwight McNeil. McNeil looking to run at Lingard, looking to run there past 2 men. Kufal now sticks with him like super glue, and McNeil forced into a corner. Had to give the ball away, unfortunately, in the end. And away by Sojcek. And here's Jack Cork picking up the loose ball. Can Burnley force an equalising goal before the break? It'd be a great moment for them to pull something out of the hat. Now then, Lawton plays it in field. The ball chipped in there. And almost an opportunity there, but it might break for Westwood. Westwood battling, but Lanzini gets the better of him there. Still deep inside West Ham territory. Still West Ham win possession. And here's Lingard on halfway inside the Burnley half now, left hand side. Here's Aaron Cresswell back to Jesse Lingard. It's not been his. It's been Antonio's night. Remember, returns just for this game. But what it's done is boost the Champions League hope of West Ham, as Tarkowski, who's had an absolute feeble first half, has been fouled, and a 3 kick to the Clarets, who really, apart from the first 20 minutes, where they looked pretty good, since then they've been quite frankly feeble and disgusted and not good enough at the back. This is a game they have to surely take 3 points from, get to 39 and stay in the Premier Division. Here is the goal kick taken by Nick Pope. We're inside the last 40 seconds of normal time at the end of the first half. Looking for Vidra. Vidra beaten to it there. Diop getting it away as far as Brownhill. And play on, says the referee. And that's a pot of Westwood again. This sums up Burnley's afternoon, this evening, Burnley's evening thus far. It's not been good enough. It really has not been good enough. And you can see why they are winless in 7 at home. This should be a home banker, you would think. They have a good record against West Ham here. West Ham, trying to think, the last time they won at Turf Moor in the Premier League was 2014, when they won by 3-1. David Moyes wanting more from his side at the moment. I don't think he could have given them much more. 2 added minutes at the end of the first half, incidentally, folks. We'll take a 10-minute break for half time. Then we'll be back with the whole of the second half for you, and hopefully a Burnley revival, which really has needs to come really from the second half, because quite frankly the first half has been so abysmal at the moment. And it'll be interesting to see what social media say at half time. But really, it has been an appalling excuse of a first half, really, from Burnley's point of view in the main. We've played a minute of the 2. West Ham still, you won't be surprised to hear, in possession. McNeil's foul from behind and a free kick to Burnley. And the referee, Dwight McNeil, just he's got the decision. Is he hurt, or is he seriously hurt, or is he just milking it a little bit? Well, what it does give is Burnley one last opportunity to try and get in at the break on parity. And if they can get in the half time with parity, then they've got every chance in the world. Here's the ball reloaded in. It's a feeble cross really from Ben Mee, not good enough. And here is the aforementioned Mee, gets it on halfway, hooks it forward. There's about 20 seconds of normal stoppage time at the end of the first half to go. Vidra just a little bit slow there with Kufal, and that comes off Vidra, I would think last, and a goal kick it is to West Ham United, and that should be that for the first half, which has been in the main frankly feeble and disappointing. And we played the 2 minutes. I think the referee should just blow up now before the goal kick is taken. What's the point now? We just playing extra time. You played the 2 minutes. Let's just stop the game for now. And Burnley need to regroup now, because this really has not been a good enough first half. West Ham have certainly won the battles and have certainly won the battle of the midfield area as the whistle is sounded by referee Taylor, who gave a rightful penalty after 18 minutes for a foul on Chris Wood. Wood a minute later got the penalty, struck it home, but then Antonio equalised on the 22nd minute, halfway through the first half, and then on 29 minutes put West Ham 2-1 up. They have had another couple of opportunities to put the game beyond Burnley's reach, but at the moment Burnley trail at half-time by just the 2-1. It could have easily been so many more to West Ham. And as far as I'm concerned, the first half from a Burnley point of view has been shocking, feeble, and quite frankly, not good enough. Dyche needs to roll a few heads, maybe throw a couple of teacups in the changing room at half-time, because simply put, that last 25 minutes from Burnley before half-time was just not good enough. So we're going to take a 15-minute break here at the Turf. We'll be back with second half commentary, but it's not looking good for the Clarets at the moment. As Russ says hello. Thank you. Hello, Russ. He's just come off mic for his channel, but at the moment it's not looking good for the Clarets. It's Burnley 1, West Ham 2. Welcome back to the turf. Well, hopefully there's been a few heads rolled here. It's got a little bit decisively cold now, and we're completely in pitch black here at the turf. We're just waiting to get on with the second half. We're just having one or two hiccups again with the technical stuff, so just bear with us a second. So one or two problems with the technical side of things. Yet again, I'm getting a little bit fed up now of this tonight. It's not been a great night in terms of technical ability, in terms of technical stuff for you guys and for me, and not a great night for Burnley at the moment. Trailing 2-1 in what's been a real cracking game. So hopefully we'll get back with you on time for the second half. Just, as I say, having one or two difficulties here at the moment. Hopefully we'll be back underway shortly with the second half, live from Turf Moor. I'd say West Ham were just about to coming out then, that last second or two, but we'll be back underway shortly. Burnley leading through Chris Wood, 150th goal in his career, coming via a penalty. But then West Ham hit back straight away, got the equaliser, and then now lead by 2-1 as we prepare to get back underway, hopefully in the second half, in a second or two. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you this live. But at the moment we're having one or two technical faults again, and this is not helping. It's not helping at all, to be quite honest with you, but hopefully we'll get the tech boys to sort this one out. Really have had an horrible night all round, really, with the technical itches and Burnley losing this game, and we're all having it's been a really tough so far, but hopefully we'll have commentary of the second half for you just a second or two, just to remind you of one or two things that is upcoming on JB Sports. We've got a special audio documentary on the Bradford City fire of 1985. That's coming up. That will be coming up on next week on JB Sports. The forgotten tragedy, we're calling it. That's going to be on May the 11th on JB Sports, an audio documentation of the Bradford City fire of 1985. We're still having one or two technical problems at the moment, and we're having nothing's coming through at the moment. We're getting no moving pictures, which is quite a bit frustrating, really, for this commentator who wants to see a Burnley comeback. But at the moment, I'm not being allowed to at the moment. But let's make sure that we're going to try and get. We're going to try and get a live stream for you anyway, as long as we can get us. We're just having one or two technical problems, so just bear with me. We will be back with you very shortly with the commentary. But at the moment we're just having one or two technical issues at the moment, and it's not going our way tonight, I'm afraid. We're just having really bad problems now with everything that's going on at the moment. So apologies to everyone who's hoping to hear some football. Unfortunately, our tech boys are letting us down at the moment, but I'll try and keep you up to date with the latest score as soon as we get anything at the moment. Right now we're having a real bad time of things in terms of the score, and now in terms of our coverage, we've had a bit of a breakdown. These things happen from time to time, naturally, but hopefully we'll be able to get back underway and we continue commentary, because we don't want to be keeping you on tenterhooks for too much longer. But disappointing first half, really, from a Burnley perspective. Really need to play better in the second half, I feel, to give ourselves a chance, and hopefully we'll get some commentary of the second half for you. We're just again having one or two technical problems, and it's not easy really at the moment to try and sort this out. It's getting frankly annoying, and we just want to get the football. We just want to get you listening to the football here if we can. So bear with us. Our tech boys are at it, are working hard to try and bring you some football here, but at the moment we're in the lap of the gods at the moment as regards this, and it is practically in the lap of the gods at the moment. So just bear with us. Honestly, we will be back up and underway with the commentary. Hopefully we haven't missed any of the action. At the moment we're just having technical problems, and it's so frustrating that we can't bring this to you at the moment. It's frustrating one at the moment. Trying to get live football is, this is the problem when we're going live at the moment. It's so frustrating. I think we might have something back now and we can get underway with some second half commentary. I'm sorry it's not all of it at the moment, but we're having, this is the problem when technical issues break down. Hopefully those technical issues will have been a thing of the past and we can continue with commentary of the match. It's a bit of a waiting game at the moment, and hopefully Burnley haven't equalised, and we'll be able to be there when they eventually do, if they do. At the moment it's really looking bad here. Just bear with us. Our tech boys are really working hard here to try and get you this game live, and we've played 5 minutes of the second half, but nothing is untoward has happened in terms of goals, so we're okay at the moment in terms of no goals being scored. Burnley 1, West Ham 2 is the score. We've picked up commentary now with 5.5 minutes into the second half. Sorry about that, folks, but we are back live now, and yes, we haven't missed anything. But Burnley now really need to step it up in the second half. Thank you, Brad. Goal kick to West Ham then, as we pick up the commentary of the second half. Still the same 11s as of the first half, and we'll remind you of those 11s in a second. Here's Taylor now trying to get it away for Burnley, but it's come straight to Antonio, who's got a brace to his name. McNeil tackling back, but Burnley still having difficulty here defending. And here comes Fornals now back to Koufal. Is playing a really good role at the moment. Number 9 now for West Ham, Banama, who's looked a real threat, and then the shot comes charging in. Again, technical problems besieging us again. I just wonder if it's going to be one of those nights where it's not going to be our night, I don't think. As Banama's shot goes well wide of target in the end. We'll try and stay with it now for as long as we can. Nick Pope will take the goal kick. Fortunately, these issues, I don't want this to be an issue all second half at the moment. We've worked really hard to get this game going, and Pope is about to take this kick. So 2-1 Burnley trail at the moment. And once again, I think we're having a little bit of problems again. The rain and the weather isn't helping things here with our connections, and it's quite frankly very disappointing from everyone's point of view. This boat kicks long, and again it's just having one of those days where it just isn't going anybody's way at the moment. Burnley still trail by 2-1. We've lost the pictures again, but hopefully we'll have something back, and hopefully we won't have any more technical issues now besieging us now. It's just so frustrating when we're trying to bring you football here live, and then certain things interrupt us. The shot comes in, a chance here for West Ham as we rejoin it. Nearly 10 minutes into the second half, and it was kicked off the line almost. And Burnley nearly close to losing a third goal. Antonio was lurking as well inside that penalty area. It was the shot there, and yes, Antonio had a real chance there to finish that off, but to no avail. It remains 2-1. Burnley still somehow in with a shout of still winning this, but they have been absolutely abysmal again in defence. Mikel Antonio knows he should have completed a hat-trick. 2-1 to West Ham. Live on JB Sports. Free kick as well in all of that. So Nick Pope to take it. Burnley must get their fingers out. 10 minutes of the second half played. Burnley 1, West Ham 2. The ball breaks kindly there to Westwood. On it goes to Wood. Wood touches the ball back, and here's Lowton on the break, but Diop's quickly there to him. And Burnley get a throw in. This nearly needs to spur Burnley into life. A draw wouldn't be a bad result. It would take them 10 points clear of Fulham if they could manage a draw. We didn't really mention that too much. But at the moment, it's West Ham who are taking the spoils here, and they're on the attack again. This is Sojcek. Sojcek thought about the shot, and he is thinking about the shot. Takes a couple of deflections. Comes to Kufau. Hits the defender. Corner. This is not what Burnley need now, with 35 minutes still of this game to go. Burnley 1, West Ham 2. It's been a chasing experience for everybody at Turf Ball in the commentary box. And it's been a chasing experience for Burnley and the supporters, which I number myself one. It's just been an absolute horrible evening. 2 apiece on corners. And here comes the latest one. West Ham to take their second corner. The third one from West Ham would seal it for them, surely. Burnley cannot ever afford a third one. Edge of the area, shot comes in, and it was Benrahma again, who's certainly been the difference. 60th minute mark. Well, 4 minutes from now, we'll be asking you to choose your JB man of the match, name of the player, hashtag JBMLTM. Let's just run through the sides very quickly for you. There's been no changes from either side even since the break. So for Burnley, Pope, Lowton, Tarkowski, me, Taylor, Brownhill, Cork, Westwood, McNeil, Vidra and Wood. West Ham, Fabianski, Diop, Dawson, Sojcek, Kufau, Lanzini, Fornals, Creswell, Benrahma, Antonio and Lingard. Here's Tarkowski now for Burnley. They need a big second half now. 35 to go. Here's Vidra having to chest it down. Keeps the ball in play. And Burnley doing very well to keep it in there. But they need something now. Can Lowton provide a good cross? Not this time. Away by Dawson. Burnley nearly need to up the ante now in this next 33 minutes plus stoppage time. And they really do need to up the ante. Burnley trailing 2-1. But they trailed in this same sort of position against Aston Villa here 3 months ago and came back to win 3-2. I'm trying to offer some support for all Burnley fans out there. Fabianski kicks clear. Burnley now have to try and have a big performance now with 32 minutes left to play in this contest. David Moyes' side hold the upper hand and all the aces here at the moment. Been a frustrating evening so far for Burnley, who took the lead through Chris Wood from the penalty spot. But so far it's not turned out the way they would have wanted it. 39 points they were looking to get tonight if they could get 3 points. The referee's about to blow for a free kick, predictably to West Ham, and it didn't look anything in it. Didn't look anything in it at all for me, and Anthony Taylor has got that one completely wrong in my opinion. Oh dear me. No, everything going against Burnley at the moment. Free kicks, decisions, all sorts here. You just knew as soon as the foot went in that the referee was going to blow up, and it didn't look anything at all bad there for me. Coming up towards an hour played. Time to get your thinking caps on for man in the match. You might be a West Ham player the way things are going, quite frankly. Here's Kufau running at Taylor and tricking him. But Kufau keeps possession, runs back. Oh, that's almost worked out there. But McNeil had to come back, and now Burnley are still going to be struggling up front now because practically 7 or 8 players were back there. Jay Rodriguez is about to come on now. I can't see why Rodriguez should be coming on here. As good a player as he is, we need a goal. Why are you persisting with Jay Rodriguez, who hasn't really scored hardly a goal this season? It just doesn't make sense for Sean Dyche to do that. Unless he goes 3 up front, then maybe so. But if he takes off one of the strikers, I'll be quite miffed. No attempt at all for Burnley. It has not been good enough. 6 for West Ham. It has just not been good enough. It's quite angry. If you're a Burnley fan right now, which I number myself one, it is absolutely frustrating. Now, who's he coming off for here? I hope he's and pray. Oh, he's took off Vidra. What a stupid substitution. Matty Vidra. I can't understand that. That's a negative substitution from Sean Dyche. That's appalling. I just don't understand why he takes Vidra off at 2-1 down, the game in the balance. You bring on, he could have gone 4-3-3, and look at that. He's shaking his head, Vidra. He can't believe it. He cannot believe that. I think that is an appalling substitution from Sean Dyche. There's a bit of clashing going on in the centre of the field. In fact, I think a free kick has been awarded. Or is it? No, a free kick. Throw into Burnley, rather. Westwood and Lingard having a little bit of a set to. But what sort of substitution was that? Absolute disgrace. And here's Antonio. He's got Lingard as well. Here is Lingard. Burnley having to get numbers back. Now they need to make sure they mark up better. Corner kick, but it's not where Burnley want it. West Ham will take their time now. 61 minutes gone. Burnley 1, West Ham 2. Well, what do we make of that substitution, folks? Sean Dyche has taken off Matty Vidra, who's understandably angry, and has brought on Jay Rodriguez, who can't at the moment hit a barn door with a banjo. Benarma now chips it in, and that could be a fair one. He nearly was. Offside, I think, has been given. But yet again, Burnley all over the shop. Craig Dawson had a 3-header, whether he was offside or not. That's immaterial, but oh my goodness me. That was pathetic. Pathetic defending. Yes, Dawson's offside, but Burnley let him through again. This is not good enough. Burnley really do need to pull their fingers out. Pull with the kick, right-footed rather. Over halfway, Cork now wins possession. Burnley really need miracles at the moment. I can't understand why Sean Dyche has hauled off Matty Vidra. I cannot for the life of me understand why. Here's Westwood now in the centre of the park. Gets the ball out towards the right. Or to the left, rather. This is Dwight McNeil. McNeil's cross is not a good one, I'm afraid. That was appalling. It needs to be better. These balls need to be better. Cork has kept that in play. Despite West Ham protestations, they thought it had gone out. It was definitely still in. Westwood to Taylor, left-hand side. Taylor now finds Westwood. They need something now, the Clarets. They need a goal here. They need something if they're going to get back into this game. McNeil, this needs to be a good cross. It's not a bad cross, that is for sure. It comes to Bruno. Bruno shoots. Rodriguez can't force it up. He can put it wide. He has put it wide from a yard out. I just cannot believe this. How is that not 2-2? This ought to go all the way. Jay Rodriguez, what was he doing? I don't believe this. This should have been 2-2. There was a great save in there. Oh, Jay Rodriguez, you idiot. He's just hit it wide from 3 yards out. Ridiculous. It should be 2-2. It still remains 2-1. West Ham off the hook. And Jay Rodriguez, he's a Burnley lad through and through. He's a hometown boy. I don't like to criticise him, but I'm sorry, there's no defence for that. Not good enough. And if you can't stick basic chances away, then you're not good enough to be a Premier League striker. Here's Jesse Lingard now. Pulls the ball back. Ben Mee gets it away. We should be talking about a Burnley second goal and the equaliser. Instead, we're talking about one of the misses of the season from a striker who's well, I can't see why that's offside. That's pathetic from the linesman. But we're talking about, and here's Fornals now. Oh, referee stopped it. Referee stopped it. Foul on Ben Mee. Foul on Ben Mee. Well, if you're watching it at home on television and listening to the commentary, well, that was a big moment. This is a game that Burnley can ill afford to lose. Anyway, here's Jack Cork. But Burnley, who are winless in 7 at home, they need an equaliser. Can they provide something? Jay Rodriguez, how he needs to atone and prove everybody, including this commentator, wrong. McNeil, this needs to be a good ball. It's not. It's nowhere near good enough. Burnley need to pin back West Ham if they can and force the breakthrough. They nearly did last time. Rodriguez was just so sloppy in front of goal. And Tarkowski now meddling with the ball here. He can't afford to do that against Mikel Antonio, who thankfully has fouled him. Tarkowski should have just proofed it. Burnley are just not going good enough. Not good movement from Rodriguez. Easy for Diop. And you can understand why people will be up in arms, including Matthew Vidra. Burnley 1, West Ham 2 is the score. It should be 2-2. But here's Westwood for Burnley. That's a good ball. Now, Matt Lowton, this needs to be a good ball. And it's too long, it's too high, and it's too feeble. This has not been good enough. The rain is pouring down here at Turf Moor, and it's raining on Burnley's parade. This should have been the equaliser. Brownhill shot, terrific save by the goalkeeper and all that. We failed to give Fabianski a bit of credit because we were so, it was so frustrating to see Rodriguez. How has he missed this? He's turned, he's got the look there, and you're thinking, right, stick this away. And he's sliced it. That's what's happened. But, oh, God, if you can't score from less than 6 yards out, then you shouldn't, well, with all due respect, you shouldn't be in the Premier League at all. Oh, Jesus. West Ham have been good for their value for their lead, but they've got away with it there. Slip there by Ben Harmer now. Gives Burnley another chance. Dwight McNeil halfway through the second half. Charlie Taylor. They've got to create 2 or 3 good chances now from now to the end of the game. Man of the match still to be decided. Name of the player you want to see win the Man of the Match award. It can be a Burnley player, West Ham player, whichever player you want to see win. Hashtag it with JBMLTN plus the name of the player you choose. And you've got until the 90th minute to pick. As Antonio's off in pursuit, but Pope beats him to it. Burnley again, just slow on the uptake. They need to start. That looks, he looks about a mile offside there, Antonio. He's been allowed to play on. This is ridiculous. Antonio shoots over, but he looked a mile offside. The linesman should be putting his flag up straight away. Everything's just starting to get sloppy. The officials are sloppy. Burnley are getting sloppy. The whole thing is getting a little bit sloppy. And he's not even failed to acknowledge it. It's a goal kick and not a free kick. Now that, to me, well, I'm not saying West Ham are worthy of the 2-1 lead, because they have been, really, but they've had one or two, since the restart, they've had one or two very key decisions go their way. Taylor now, back to Ben Mee. They've got to get this forward. They can't afford to pass it about. They need to get it forward. We don't need negative football at a time like this. Charlie Taylor coming charging forward. They need to charge forward, but they're going backwards. What are they doing? James Tarkowski. They need to get this forward. They are losing this game and they're going back. They need to go forward. This is negative from Burnley. So negative. It's easy for West Ham. Cork now puts his foot through it. It can't find Rodriguez. And Burnley, oh, they've got a corner. Mistake. A mistake by Kufal. Now then, Burnley have got themselves a chance they didn't expect. Kufal's mistake, knocking the ball out for a corner, has invited pressure on West Ham. Now, can Burnley get the equaliser and get back into this game? They've got 20 minutes to do it. We'll take one at the moment rather than the two. Here's the corner coming in there from Westwood. Right in amongst... And Rodriguez again! Got up against everybody and has missed another sitter. 2 poor misses from Jay Rodriguez. We could have even been talking about 3-2 Burnley. That's no exaggeration of the truth. Another let off for West Ham United. Is it going to be their night? Oh, honestly, Burnley do not half run their supporters through the mill. And to be quite honest, it's not been good enough. Here's Antonio. He's probably been the West Ham's man of the match. But, no, if we're looking for a Burnley man in the match, I don't think you find too many tonight. Maybe Chris Wood, possibly, but apart from that, nothing else has really struck out for me. As Banana now has possession, he'd be a candidate for man in the match. So too with this man here, Antonio, who shoots just wide. And Burnley get off the hook. They haven't been able to contain this fella tonight. Mikel Antonio, he has been different class, there's no doubt about it. But that, again, absolute feeble defending from Charlie Taylor, that. Burnley so lopsided at the back here. Ben Mee and James Tarkowski, they have to look at themselves and think, what is going on? Antonio could have had 6 today. That's no exaggeration. He's had quite a number of chances to add to the 2 goals he's got. But Burnley now need to still keep fighting, and how they need to keep fighting now. They get a throw in. They need a goal here. Charlie Taylor, can they produce it? Here is Ashley Westwood. Westwood now on his turn to Tarkowski. Tarkowski now can't find McNeil. Again, another poor ball. So telegraphed, these balls, high balls from Burnley. This is not what we want to see. We want to see positive football, not hoofing it along the ground. Fornals now for West Ham. Right hand side, in it goes. Tarkowski got it half away. The shot comes back in and wide from Aaron Creswell with the right foot. And West Ham threatening this 3rd goal. And if they get it, you can't say they've not deserved it. Came to him there. In fact, I think he hit it with his left foot and not the right foot as it happened. So 18 to play. Burnley 1, West Ham 2. Hooker by Crook was still in this game. Here's Pope, kicks long. And header is won there by Sojcek. Rodriguez battling with it now. McNeil gets it forward. Little deflection on the ball there. Headed away by Craig Dawson. Charlie Taylor to pick it up. Has to get this forward. Can't afford to go backwards now. Time is not on Burnley's side at the moment. Time isn't Burnley's friend at the moment. They have to try and get this ball forward as best they can and force West Ham into making mistakes. Here's Fabianski. He'll kick long. Put his butt through it. Unlike some people I can mention from the Burnley side. Certainly Dwight McNeil in the first half. Completely and utterly dispossessed on the equalising goal. Burnley are going to make another substitution. It's a positive one. Johan Berg Gudmundsson. Well, what has he done there? He's replaced Dwight McNeil. Well, is he going to play on the left-hand side? He needs to be playing down the right-hand side. What is Dyche doing? This is another... I mean, Gudmundsson's a good substitute to bring on, but to play him on the left? You've got to question Sean Dyche's geography on these substitutions. It has to be said. Oh, given away stupidly there by Taylor. And now West Ham could be in because this man, Mikel Antonio, he's running like Usain Bolt towards the edge of the area. Fornals is inside the box. Fornals might get the shot off. Burnley are at 6s and 7s. Creswell there. Was it into offside perhaps? The ball in anyway wasn't good enough, but... Excuse me. Burnley really are dawdling about in possession. They're just making the wrong choices. They need something now. And again, ball given away. This time Chris Wood. They're just being stupid in possession, and it's gifting West Ham chances. Antonio has it far side, and Wood having to pull his shirt back. Quarter of an hour remains. Burnley are nowhere near getting into this game. They're giving too many balls away. They're being sloppy in possession. And right now, it's not been good enough. Evening to Kevin as well. It'll be morning over in New Zealand. But Burnley are losing the game and the chance to stay, at least this week, in the Premier League. And here is Kufau. Kufau back inside to Lingard. Burnley are just all over the place at the moment. You've got to say that Creswell and Antonio have made a hell of a difference to West Ham's play today. And you've got to give them credit for that. And here is the aforementioned Creswell. They keep a possession rather nicely, this West Ham, one has to say. And you've got to give them their fair dues. They've turned up here and they've wanted to win this game more than Burnley have. Burnley get the throw, however, on halfway. Sean Dyche, well, one has to question here, and I've got to agree with Mike here. We are lucky because, let's be fair, as we look at Stuart Pearson, David Moyes there, Mike, I agree with Mike actually. Burnley are lucky because Antonio could have had 6 goals in this game. No exaggeration of the truth. But then when you see chances like Jay Rodriguez and the 2 he's had, it's just not been good enough. West Ham are preparing to bring on Jared Bowen, which is not super smashing great for Burnley at the moment, unfortunately, to quote another famous Bowen, the great bullseye legend Jim. So it's not a super smashing time for being a Burnley fan tonight, I'm afraid. But they've still got 13 minutes for stoppage time. Gudmundsson, who's playing on the left, puts a good ball in there, but knocked away. I would have took Brownhill off or Cork off and got Gudmundsson on the near side and took McNeil off. I just don't understand Sean Dyche's geography on that one. And I don't understand why he brought on Rodriguez. I'm still trying to work out why Vidra was taken off. Only Sean Dyche will know. Hopefully we might be able to find out from the man himself after the game. Ball played in there towards Rodriguez. Gudmundsson tries to hit it on the volley and hits it well wide in the end. And, well, that just sums up Burnley's pathetic evening, really. Not just in front of goal, but defensively as well. Well, they've committed several pieces of defensive suicide. And here comes Jared Bowen. And this is not a super smashing great moment for Burnley. That is for sure. As Ben Harmer, who's really done really well tonight, comes off. You've still got about 12 minutes to vote for your man in the match. Name of the player you want to see win it. Hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM, please. He's certainly got to be a candidate for man of the match. as much as I'd like to be biased towards Burnley, I don't think I'm in a position to do so the way that they play. Gunnison, in fairness, has kept the ball in. But at the moment, we could be on the cusp of a big defeat here. And this is going to be a good evening for now for Fulham, who will give themselves a bit of hope here. But Burnley really need to find an equaliser from somewhere. We'll take a point now. 37 points wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Here's Jack Cork now for the Clarets. Chris Wood got goal number 150, and then he hits it straight at Josh Brownhill. What was that from Wood? He hit it so strongly there, and Brownhill must have been about 2 yards away. Just sums up the pathetic nature of this Burnley performance. Here's Lingard now, and West Ham are quite content now to press the ball about and just really take the sting out of the game if they can. A third goal wouldn't go amiss for them, I suppose. Bowen gets his first touch, gets the ball out to the far side, and here by Creswell is Lingard. Back to Creswell again. Now Lanzini, oh, nice little stuff, but Ben Mee read the situation. But Burnley are so bunched up and back in their own half. It's so negative. This is a home game for Burnley, and that's surely going to be a free kick there against. I think is it Jesse Lingard. Mike has put a vote in for man of the match, and I think that's a decision that would be very difficult to argue with, as we see for now. It's a one-footed tackle. I'm surprised the referee hasn't booked him for that. I think on another day he may have seen yellow for that. If he has seen yellow, I don't care if he got the ball. It was a dangerous challenge, and the referee should be booking him for that. But for whatever reason, Mr. Taylor, who's had a mixed bag tonight, I have to say, has kept his cards in his pocket. Free kick to Burnley. I don't think you can argue with it. He could have had 6 tonight, Mikel Antonio, and you wouldn't argue for a man of the match award, that is for sure. I think Mike's probably hit the nail on the head as Burnley launch another one into the penalty area. But you've got to say, good defending from West Ham. Ben Mee has to get it back to Pope. This is not good football, this from Burnley. I've never seen some, in a game of real urgency and real importance, I've never seen them play so negative. They're just so negative on the ball at the moment. I don't know what Dyche is doing at the moment. And this is Antonio. It could be our man in the match here. He's laid it in. A chance here for free. And a man that arguably could have been on the pitch for Nows didn't even get a booking for his nasty challenge. Nearly made it free. And I think there would have been a little bit of an uproar if that had gone in, because he should have at least picked up a booking for his nasty challenge a few moments ago. Possibly even a sending off. But to be fair, Ben Mee did really well there. If only he'd have done better in the first half, we might have been talking about a great result for Burnley at the moment. But it looks like a horrible result. Not a disaster, although it's been Burnley have played like a complete disaster, to be honest with you. And Burnley are looks like they're gonna go 3 up top. I would have thought. They've got to sacrifice a midfield player now. The game's in the balance. If he takes Chris Wood off, that's the final straw. West Ham will feel that they've won the game. Here's Van Hals, who should have easily picked up a booking a minute they threw back. Lanzini out to Creswell on the left-hand side. It really has been a chasing inexperience. 8 minutes left to play at the turf. And Burnley are trailing. And here is Jared Bowen. Good tackle there. Shame they didn't show the commitment, the 2 centre-halves, in the first half. Otherwise, they'll still be winning this game. It's not been good enough. It's a bit late in the day to start showing commitment like that when your team's 2-1 down and time isn't the friend. Really hasn't been good enough. And I wonder what excuse, if Burnley do go on to lose, that Sean Dyche will give. Because, let's be fair, it's not been good enough. Now, West Ham are time wasting here. And then they're wasting a lot of time here. They've wasted about 30 seconds on that throw-in. And I think Anthony Taylor should be adding time on for this. This is not good enough. Not good enough. Antonio certainly has been the real difference, I think. And I think if it does turn out to be the man of the match. I mean, he's had 6 chances. Scored from 2 of them. Could have easily had a double hat-trick tonight. No exaggeration of the truth. Ball up towards Rodriguez, who's missed 2 real sitters for Burnley in this second half. But at the moment, it's West Ham's day. Or West Ham's evening, rather. Here's Fabianski kicking long. This needs to be won by Taylor and his. And now Ben Mee to win the loose ball. And he had a chance to get it forward and he just went sideways. What are they doing? Time is not a Burnley spread and they're just absolutely lazily knocking the ball around as if they're 3-0 up. This is not what we want to be seeing this. This is negative football. What are they doing? Here's Ben Mee to Charlie Taylor. They have to get this forward. They're going backwards again. What are they doing, Burnley? They have to get it forward. Here's James Tarkowski. Must get this forward. Here's a chance now for Burnley. They've got to find a goal from somewhere. Westwood to Lowton. Back to Westwood. Cork's available as well. This is Cork. And they're going backwards again. What are they doing? Here's Charlie Taylor, left-hand side. We're praying for an equaliser now. Into the penalty area it goes. It's not a good cross. The crossing from Burnley has been pathetic. And then Lingard dives around and, well, that is ridiculous. I'm sorry, Anthony Taylor. That's not a booking. The one by Fennells was a definite booking. But I'm afraid Lingard has conned the referee. And he's conned. And, oh, that is the last straw. Wood has been taken off. Why? And we're now... Well, Ashley Barnes has come on. That was a chance for Dash to take a midfield player off, get 3 up front, and he has made an absolute clanger with that one. He's made 3 clangers tonight. The substitutions have been negative in the extreme. Ashley Barnes, you'd have thought 3 up top, and Anthony Taylor now needs to get on with it. Well, Dawson's been booked for time wasting, actually. That was the reason there. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is a game that Burnley could ill afford to lose, really. You think with the game in the balance, time running out, you go 3 up front, Mike, but not on this occasion. It's I'm lost. It's very rare, Mike. I'm lost for words in a football game. But we might just shock the world here. If either Barnes or Rodriguez shock the world, then they will be vindicated. But questions have to be asked of Dyche's substitution. 4 minutes to go. Here's Jared Bowen. Brought down, referee. Yeah, he's going to give a free kick and he's going to give a yellow card. Yeah, but he won't give one for Fennells, will he? Nasty challenge. Gudmundsson. I didn't think there was anything in it at all. I think the referee's now becoming Burnley's enemy as well. Nothing but able to shoulder charge, nothing malicious at all, and the referee books him for it. I think that's a joke, quite honestly, from Anthony Taylor. But there you go. But you can't just blame the referee for what's happening tonight. Burnley have got to look at themselves if they do go on to lose this match, because it's all now riding on the last 4 games. And Burnley cannot keep relying on Fulham to get to keep messing up. Burnley have had enough opportunities of their own accord to win this game tonight. Here's Creswell with a 3 kick. It's off the wall, but Lowton has got to get in there and get it away. And he's done just that. But no, it might just break here. Gudmundsson now. Gudmundsson, he's got a little bit of support here outright. Can he find Brownhill? Yes, he can. This needs to be a good ball. Why did he not cross there, Josh Brownhill? Here's Westwood. Not a good cross at all. He didn't even clear the first man. Gudmundsson is away. Mikel Antonio looks as if he's going to win man of the match. I don't think you can argue with that. Here's Charlie Taylor. Taylor now. Taylor with a cross. It's not a bad one, and it's gone away. It's a corner. And credit to Dawson because he got something on it. Otherwise, it might have been 2-2. This is the best cross I've seen all day from a Burnley player. Charlie Taylor, you've got to give him a little bit of leeway with that. Corner now. Gudmundsson to take it. 2 minutes left to play. Tarkowski is up, but it's not a good corner. Shot back in, deflected away, and West Ham survive again. And you can't say they've not deserved it, because they have. Here's Pope again for Burnley. Time running out now. In a game they really needed at least a point from. They're going to get nothing at the moment, and they've only themselves to blame, the Clarets. Here's Pope again. Kicks, hoops it forward. But it only finds a dark-shirted West Ham player. Looks like West Ham could be on course to do the double. 1-0 earlier on in the season. Back in January, Mikel Antonio was the difference then. Looks like being the difference now. Rodriguez. They just can't seem to get a touch of the ball at the moment. And here they go again. It's Panals running towards the area. And here's Jesse Lingard. Chance to saturate. Lingard shoots deflected. And it's, I think it might have cannoned off the post or off Pope's arm. West Ham so close to a third. And to be fair, it wouldn't have flattered them in the least. And I don't think anyone could have argued with it. That's actually a good save from Pope, although he probably didn't know much about it, to be fair. Another chasing inexperience. The man of the match vote, well, I think it's fair to say who's going to win it for us. It's Jesse Lingard with the corner. And it goes away. So Mikel Antonio has been voted, and I think it's a fair decision, the man in the match. And where's free? Oh my goodness. Only 3 minutes. There was 4 or 5 at best. There's been complete time wasting, and then Lingard should be put for kicking the ball away. This has been pathetic. Absolutely disgraceful. Where is 3 minutes? It should have been 4, maybe 5. Oh, it's questionable. Anyway, here's a chance for Barnes, possibly. No. It didn't come to anything. West Ham got it clear. This is... And again, Burnley have tried, but it's never been enough. They need... Looks like snookers now to try and get themselves back in. But whatever we argue with the officials and why on earth was it 3 minutes? Mike reckons it was 6. I would have said 4 or 5. But the bottom line is, Burnley, even if they had the extra 6 minutes, I don't know if they'd equalise. They might still hear. Corner kick. Barnes just couldn't get it out from under his feet. Now this needs to go in. Burnley would absolutely love a point now at this moment in time. They'd be desperate for it. And if it goes in, Pope might as well go for it. There's 90 seconds left of the game. Burnley need miracles. They need snookers. Can they get one here now? Towards the back post. Pope stays forward. Gudmundsson could have, should have, and maybe should have hit that into the penalty box and tried to get a deflection on that. Ball played in there. Pope goes out with a header. It might drop for me, but West Ham get it clear and Pope's nowhere near goal. Burnley head it back in there. Pope having to scamper back. And now Jared Bowen may have a shot at goal. It's in nowhere. He's actually found Pope with it. And now Pope knocks it forward. They need to reload here now. Westwood. Is this good enough? Oh, it's going to go for a goal kick. David Moyes' side look like they're going to hang on for 3 crucial points, which, in fairness, will put the pressure on Chelsea. They'll be within 3 points of Thomas Tuchel's men. But for Burnley, this really has, and I don't like to say the word, but it has been a complete and utter disaster from start to finish. It's been rubbish. 15 seconds of stoppage time to go. And here's Jesse Lingard. He could settle it once and for all. But he decides to go to the corner, which might be the wisest thing to do, really. 5 seconds to go. Offside. But I don't think Burnley are going to have much time for anything else. Burnley are going to lose this game. David Moyes on the cusp of a famous victory at Turf War. Champions League football could be theirs, and there goes the final whistle. And Burnley have lost A game they should have tried to take 3 points. Credit to West Ham and to David Moyes. Mikel Antonio are a man of the match with 2 goals. But Burnley, who led after 20 minutes for a penalty through Chris Wood, it was his 150th goal in league football. After that, were just unbelievably pathetic. Defence, calamities in defence, calamities in attack. Jay Rodriguez had 2 gilt-edged chances from practically point-blank range to level it up, but could take either of them, and that is why he's not got enough. Questions will be asked. The substitutions. So many questions that you have to say need to be asked. But let's not discount West Ham at all. They were the better side. They had more chances. Mikel Antonio had more chances. He could have put the game well beyond West Ham's reach at any given point. But my word, how far short have Burnley fallen? There has to be... I mean, Sean Dyche will have to ask serious questions now of himself, because when Burnley are up for it, they're as good as any side in the league. But what we've seen tonight was nowhere near the standard that we saw at Wolves last week. It just doesn't cut it for me. It's not good enough. Absolutely. Well, I'm not going to try and swear because it would be unprofessional, but I'm trying to think. I'm totally lost for words. West Brom and Wolves earlier today drew 1-1, but Burnley are not safe yet. I cannot believe what I've seen tonight and witnessed. Well, the whole thing has been a shambles. We'll try and get some reaction, hopefully from Burnley point of view, and well, where did Burnley go now? Season's still a bit to play for here. 4 games left. But West Ham, let's be fair, they've deserved it. They move up to 5th place and deserve now. Yeah, it is a must win. But the problem Burnley have now, they can't keep relying on Fulham to pick up results. West Ham have got up to 58 from 24 games. That's a real good season for them. A team that traditionally fights relegation has really overachieved so much this season. Burnley stay where they are, and it's a great night for Newcastle and Fulham. And Burnley really could have taken a huge step. Southampton have played a game less than them, but well, what more can we say from that? We'll hopefully try and get a bit of reaction from tonight's match, but well, I can't for the life of me. There will be questions asked. What should it have been more than 3 minutes at the end? But that's immaterial for another argument. That's for another day. What's more pressing and what questions need to be asked now is, were Burnley ever going to be good enough? Mikel Antonio was the difference. He won the game. Excuse me. And well, I'm totally lost for words. They'll be doing a little video later on, which I'll be putting up on YouTube. We're going to end the coverage because, quite honestly, it's been a chastening night. I want to throw my mic and headset down in absolute disgust. And to be quite frank, who can blame me? But West Ham have taken a huge step towards Champions League football. Burnley have really ricketed in their bid to stay in the Premier League and have done it in the most disastrously spectacular way you could possibly imagine. It's finished here at Turf Moor. Burnley 1, West Ham 2. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage, but it's not a good night for Burnley. In fact, it's been a chastening night for Burnley, and it's been an horrible night for Burnley. Terrific one for West Ham. They still got a chance of Champions League football, and good luck to them. But here at Turf Moor, it's been a chastening night for Burnley, beaten by 2 goals to 1. Take care. Good night.